It was all going too well for me, wasn't it? Molly is not here at the moment. Let me fill you in.
Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We live it like this could be our final day.
At least the sun has arrived in Yorkshire, which is always a bonus. So let me fill you in on where Molly is and what happened. Molly is currently in Pool House Equine Hospital. Again, she has been there before because, oh my goodness, how long ago now? I'm recording this Sunday, but on Tuesday we're doing really well. She's got a plan in. We had a schooling session on Monday. Tuesday was a hacking day, so Tan said, oh, can I come with you? Absolutely fine. We've always hacked out, no issues at all. Went out hacking, had a beautiful ride round, bit of canter work, really enjoying it. Walking back to the yard, not close, safe distance apart from each other. The mares were doing absolutely nothing, just walking home, and Tan's horse just turned on Molly for some reason. Turned around on her, kicked her and caught her on her right hind. So it bled instantly. I jumped off, walked her back home. She was absolutely sound, walking no problem, just what looked like a little cut. I'll show it now. So it just looked like a little cut, absolutely sound. So I dressed the wound, put her to bed and thought we'll reassess in the morning. In the morning, absolutely, so lame, so lame. Here's the little vid. As we can see, we just don't want to put any weight on it this morning. There is no heat or swelling. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. That is the little cut, and that is how lame we are this morning. Yay! So pulled the vet out, and by the time the vet had come, it had ballooned, so the joint was really swollen. She was not weight bearing. We gave her some bute. She did start to weight bear, but the concern from the vet was that actually there could be a septic joint. And we were looking at risks on, do we send her into the hospital to get her checked? Do we keep her at home and hope that it's not septic? And the problem being, I'm not a vet by the way, the problem being with the septic joint is that if it is septic, and you don't get it quick enough, then it can be the end of the line. And having lost two boys in tragic circumstances, we are not about to try and risk it for a third time. So I decided to send her into Pool House Equine. She's been there before. I love the people there. They are so knowledgeable and good. My tap's overrunning again. 1 min. He's back. It's filling up the other one now. So I sent her into Pool House Equine, where I waited for her while we ran the test to see if the joint was infected. We also decided to go for x-rays. Why not at this point? Let's just double check everything is absolutely fine. Did x-rays and did the fluid in the joints, and they both came back clear. Absolutely nothing on the x-rays, no infection. Winner. So we decided to keep her in overnight just to make sure that we could dress the wound, because when we clipped it, it was actually bigger than what we thought it was initially. So we thought we'd dress the wound and just prevent any further infection from going in. So she stayed in overnight. I got a call. You get 3 calls a day usually from the vets, just to give you an update. I got a call in the morning to say that Molly had started to colic at 7 a.m. Now she's done this before, hasn't she? When she went through the fence line, the vets, because I kind of think, well, why is she doing this? And we've had a scopes and things like there's nothing else going on. The only thing we can think of is that when she gets in times of stress or pain, when she's in quite a lot of pain, that her body just slows down and her guts just slow down, and that causes an impaction. We think that the impaction had started to occur while she was at home, so the first night that she stayed here, and then obviously she kept eating and it gets worse. So she has been on colic watch with tubing every maybe 4 times a day, to try and clear the impaction. It has taken till yesterday. They rang me to say that the impaction had finally cleared. She's got now soft feces, and they were going to turn her out. The leg's looking good. They were going to turn her out in the morning to see how she tolerated food, to make sure that was going through her system okay, and then we can look at a plan for moving forward. So at this current time, I am waiting on a call to see what the prognosis is. So there you are. Something totally not in my control has left me with hefty bills. So you just to know, like, this is the reality of horse ownership for people who are thinking of getting a horse, or things like this can happen. Horses kick, we know they do. Why they turn on others, we don't know. So there's lots of management I've got to do here. Like, they can't go back in the field. They were in the field together, they weren't. We'd pop them back in because the landlord had said that we needed to pop them back in. They just can't go back in together now. Blaze obviously dislikes Molly for some reason. Let's not do it. So the fields have got to be separated. That's one job to do. I've got Chezzy, who hasn't wintered that well, to be honest. I'm concerned about her at the minute. She turns 30 next week, and she's just really suffered. Anybody else with oldies that's just really suffered this year? She's so trying to keep weight on. She's just been awful. So I'm hoping when the spring grass comes through, it kind of helps her out a little bit. So I've got to segregate the fields. I'm waiting to see what the plan is from the vet. So yeah, in regards to the cost, so the call out that I got from my vet, I've got the bill for that one, and that was just call out and medication. She was then referred that day. So maybe like, I don't know, like a 40-minute stint. That cost me £231. Now Molly is insured. She has exclusions on one of her legs, which when she went through the fence, so thankfully it's not that leg. But there's a risk then with insurance, because obviously I've had quite a few claims on it, that by Molly's only 5, that by she's kind of like 9 or 10, she may be uninsurable. So then you have to start thinking about other things. So yeah, just to highlight, the money side of it is just, nothing worse than your horse being ill, and one of the things you have to think about is the financial cost of it. But here we are. So I'm waiting on a call this morning to see what's happening with Molly. I've still got Chezzy, so I'm going to turn Chezzy out. I'm going to segregate the field off, so Blaze and the foal are in the bottom paddock. Mine are going to be in the top one, but I'm going to put some barrier tape across it, some electric tape, so they can't get near each other. There's a fence, but I don't like the fence line, as we know, so I'm going to put some barrier tape across there. And yeah, come along for the weekend, for the weekend of finding out what the hell is going off with Molly. And we were doing so well. Like, we were going out, we were having lessons, it was going well. I was trying to improve that canter because we know how bad it was from the last lesson. And I've been knocked back down again. Lives of horses, kids. Lives of horses. Right. Chezzy wants to go out. This is our current field situation. So we have like this paddock, and it's split into 2. So what we're going to do is put Blaze and the foal in that bottom bit, and then I've put some electric tape. It's got quite a bit of a distance between that and the fence, and it's double taped. Both Molly and Chez respect electric tape, so they may go near it but they won't go through it, touch wood when I say that, but they always have. It is electrified anyway, just to keep them off that fence as well, and to keep them away from the others. So we need some spring grass, people. It's finally drying up, but it's not been amazing. So that's a job done, ready. Chez is absolutely fine on her own as well. She spent many years on her own, and there's other horses round that she can see. It's just safety, isn't it? Gosh, yeah, safety in paddocks. Glasses are on. Can't afford contact lenses, got vet bills to pay. Anyway, don't want to whinge. I'm just thinking now that Chez could actually go out for summer. The weather has picked up. The horses are always better out than in. If I could turn out and have shelter, I think I would, but I can't here. So I'm thinking that might be a plan. I don't know what's going to happen with Molly when she comes back, whether she'll have to stay in, go out, cross that bridge when we come to it. Still waiting for a phone call. It is Sunday though. My ducks are back, look. They're after my daughter. My daughter feeds them biscuits, but she's not here this morning. She's in bed. Oh, lazy.
Several days later.
I feel like it has been so many days later. So I think the last time I spoke to you was on Sunday. And I think I got a bit excited that Molly was going to come home. She didn't. So they just had a few more issues with her leg, which meant they wanted to keep her a little bit longer. The colic was cleared, but she just needed a bit of steroid help because her leg had started to swell again. But oh, honestly, and I've just felt like, usually I love updating my Instagram. I love my Instagram family. I've just like had so much. I just can't be bothered this week. I'm into that self-pity of like, why is it me all the time? And you know, like you get into that realm, don't you? Which is not a good place to be honest. But I have a good support system online. I don't have, you know, sounds really sad, but I don't really have that amazing support system around me. I live too far away from my besties. I need to move. I'm just gonna move this hay. I'm gonna fetch Ches in, and then I'll explain what's happening. God, that hill's a killer. So I fetched my old duffer in. She is 30 on Friday. We're now on Wednesday. See, I don't know where I got to, but I think when I started the vlog on Sunday, I thought that Molly was coming home that day, and she wasn't. Or she didn't end up coming home. So I got incredibly disappointed and just felt a bit down with it all. Like, when is it going to end? Kind of thing. But you know what? This is why I'm putting this vlog out there, to tell others that if you're going through the same thing at the moment, that it's completely normal and not everything is Instagram perfect. And we have to get through these things, and if nothing else, horses teach us resilience. Anyway, the good news is Molly's going to be discharged. So that's why I'm fetching Ches in. So she's going to now keep her company. Exhausted. And we're going to go and fetch her. So we're going to drive all the way to Leicestershire to go pick up a pony. So at the minute, I've got a look on my face. At the minute, it's all about getting everything ready for her to come back. I don't know why they're shouting. They're not my ponies. So her bed is down. I'm not going on my own. My beautiful daughter is coming with me. So I have to do a lot of stuff on my own, but things like this, it's nice to have somebody with you. So she's offered to come. We've got water. I mean, I can go through how you can kind of prevent impaction colic in horses that are prone. It's all about hydration. So hay is soaking. I've got two different waters. I've got one that's got like a bit of stuff in it to help her drink. Yeah, so let's go back to Pool House. This is the worst bit. I hate travelling that far. Oh, I'm going now because it's late on in the evening. Hopefully there'll be no traffic, because on the way there we got stuck in 2 hours worth of standing traffic on the M1, and that did not help her guts at all. So yes, come with us while we go and pick up Molly, see what the vet says, see what the prognosis is, what the rehab looks like. Again, yeah, progress is not linear. I wish it was, just for a little bit. I wish it bloody was. I might take a bit of snap in a bucket, because she can be a bit of a devil to load. She did when we was trying to get her up there, but a food bucket, she went straight in. So right, let's go drive to Leicester.
I can see you far and wide across the ocean, above the clouds. In your presence I am free. I hear your whisper through the wind. Here right now, there's no place that I would rather be. So let this moment last. I've searched myself, I've tried to figure out who I am, and you were all
back home. That was actually a really lovely journey back on the M1. I think that was the right time to go. She travelled really nice. After being a bit of a monkey to load. Not gonna get me wrong. The guys were saying, I think she's absolutely taking the Michael. But anyway, she's back home. She can go out. She's happy to be turned out. She's got a different diet, which I can go through if anybody's interested, to try and keep that impaction colic at bay. So there's a test between box rest and going out, but with Molly and then how her stomach is, we think she's better going out. So yeah. So this is the wound when I took her into the hospital. As you can see, this is where the kick injury is. What it looks like is quite small, incidental. This is the wound on discharge, so a little bit more swollen, but it's starting to heal. And here we have the x-rays. So really good, no issues with the joint. However, as you can see, there is a tiny bone fragment that is just sitting above the joint. Now the vet believes that this will cause no problems, and in fact it will be reabsorbed, or like scar tissue will form over it. She's completely sound. However, because of that, that just shows you the force of the kick as well. Because of that, she has to be re-x-rayed every 3 weeks to make sure that that is causing no problems. If it does, the likelihood is she may have to go in, but we are keeping, the vet is very confident that that won't cause any issues at all. Here she is, all shaved, bandaged up. Let's go in. She's having a mash, the new feeding regime at the moment, and typical Molly, it's all over the floor. So she's back home. She's lost quite a bit of weight, but then she's had colic peeps, so you know, she's not going to be looking her most amazing. So for her now, it's just a month of R&R to get well again. And this is the current situ with her leg. So they're keeping the bandage on like that just because, to keep it on, I think. It looks, Sherry says to me it looks worse than what it is. It's got a bandage change on Friday. But yeah, my girl is back home where she's supposed to be, happy beans. And I can't explain to you the relief I feel at this moment in time. I was very kind of stressed going to fetch her and worried, but I'm just so happy that she's home, that she's here, that everything looks like there's no reason why she shouldn't be back to what she was doing in a few weeks' time. But at the moment we're just going to let her, I'm just going to let her rest and recover and just enjoy having her back again. I was lost for a week. She's been in the hospital a week today, actually, exactly a week, and I just didn't know what to do with myself. So thank you so much for coming along for this little update. I just thought that if you don't follow me on Instagram, you'll be wondering what the hell is going off. So I thought I'd just kind of explain to you there. Please give me a like, comment and subscribe to follow this roller coaster of a journey. And heads up, there might be a surprise coming in the next couple of weeks. It's not a new pony. Right peeps, love you all. Keep it real. I'll see you next week. Please let's hope for some positive vibes now.
We're dreamers, don't care what other people say. We're living like this.